Hello everyone, great to have you with us. My name is Alexey Ognev, CEO of the DigiU ecosystem. Today, we have a special guest joining us on our webinar, Aidar Sabirov, CEO of the Antipad platform, which you might know by its brand name, WebWise. We will be talking about what exactly Antipad Launchpad is and answering the questions you left under our post. Let's dive into this topic and business model for DigiU's audience. As always, we will talk about the innovative products and fields we are involved in, where we have achieved considerable success. I have prepared a series of questions to discuss, so that new DigiU ecosystem users can understand what this product is all about and its future potential, which I assure you is both promising and exciting. It will also be interesting for long-time DigiU users who remember how this idea first emerged and when the word Launchpad was mentioned for the first time in one of our webinars with Alexander E. You know the whole backstory. Today, I think there will be plenty of valuable information on what the Launchpad is focused on, as well as insight into Aidar's team, which has become highly skilled over this time. We will explore what sets our product apart, how this market operates, and the unique features of our approach. These are the kinds of things we'll be covering today, so listen closely and feel free to ask your questions in the chats during the broadcast. Whether it's the Telegram chat or right below the streaming window where you're watching this webinar, we will do our best to answer as many questions as possible along the way. Now let's get started. Aidar, welcome. I will go straight into the first question and then you can say hello to the audience. So let's break it down for everyone. Whether familiar or new to this topic, what does the word Launchpad actually mean? What is this market about? Are there any big names in this field, or is it a market we're building from the ground up? Let's help everyone get a foundational understanding of this area. Hello everyone. Thank you, Alexey. Let's start with some terminology. So, what's a Launchpad? A Launchpad is a platform used for Web3 project sales, an established term in the crypto world. In other words, it's a platform that helps early-stage startups raise funding. The Launchpad market really started to take shape around early 2017, although before that there were ICOs that eventually evolved and changed over time. One of the major players in this market is Polkadot, which has been around since 2017. Then there is Binance Launchpad, which operates within the Binance ecosystem. All projects that eventually list on Binance go through this Launchpad. Another well-known one is DAO Maker Launchpad. In terms of numbers and the overall market, as far as I know, there is no comprehensive report on the total funds raised through Launchpads specifically. However, we can look at recent data, such as Binance report for the second quarter, which noted around $2.7 billion raised. And this is a 40% increase over the previous quarter. I would say Launchpads play a significant and key role in helping early-stage projects secure funding. Great! Speaking of a typical business model for the Launchpads you have just mentioned, or on average, if a Launchpad is a business, how does it make money by helping attract investments? What's the core of it? The simplest way for Launchpads to make money is through fees. For example, a Launchpad might take a certain allocation, say $100,000, add its commission, and then distribute that allocation to many small retail investors. This is the primary revenue model for all Launchpads. Additionally, it's become standard in the market for launchpads to have their own native token. Launchpads do everything they can to drive demand for their token, encouraging people to buy it. However, it's worth noting that Antipad doesn't have its own token because, frankly, it doesn't need one. A token just creates an extra step that complicates the entry point for users. Not only do they need to learn about the project they want to invest in, but they also have to figure out how the Launchpad's token actually works. After investing in a project through this token, users are often left with an illiquid asset in the form of that token. But what happens if they don't keep participating in the Launchpad, or if the Launchpad success declines, especially during a bear market? Their capital effectively takes a hit in value. Alright, I think that makes sense. At least for me, what you're saying is clear and familiar. If our audience has questions, make sure to explore them either with our help or on your own. I suggest we gradually shift from general terms to focus specifically on what Antipad does. Look, you're not a frequent guest on our broadcast or webinars, although we do make an effort to share information and updates through posts and social media. We aim to keep our audience informed with clear updates about what is happening. Still, whenever someone joins us on a broadcast, it attracts more attention. Your first and last appearance was quite a while ago. It was during a key video on May 10th, when we were heading to Bali and were reviewing the first half of 2024. At that time, as the project lead, you were working with us during the very early stages, although several sales had already taken place. Let's gradually shift into that. Since the last time the audience saw you, can you tell us what's been accomplished and what you focused on when launching the Launchpad? What challenges did you face and what's the result now? In other words, where do you stand today in terms of users and team size? I keep track of everything myself. I see the numbers, I see the people, and everything else. Our goal here is to show everyone watching that behind these appearances twice a year, behind the release of updates and the launch of something like Capitalist, there is a huge amount of work. As the CEO of all of this, can you share what it was really like? Give our audience a glimpse into that. There were obviously challenges, unique solutions, and a lot of responsibility. And as we can all see now, the result is something truly impressive. Let's start by saying that we launched in March, and it was a fairly quick rollout. Our primary goal was to test the business model, to see if it was viable and worth scaling further. From early April to May, we held 4 sales rounds. We realized that the business model worked. It was profitable and scalable. However, something was still missing, an innovative element that would let us add real value to the product. Our goal was to enhance value for projects, given the high number of launchpads on the market. We wanted to stand out and offer something of real value, not only for our projects but also for our audience, building a strong community for our partners. We were searching for a business model to achieve this, and we found it. Over this period, we put together a solid team. From March to May, we reached 10,000 users of our wallet, which at the time was called WebWise Wallet. After that, we started actively seeking ways to expand our user base, to attract more projects, raise larger amounts, and bring more value to these projects. This led us to the idea of launching a trend-driven game on Telegram mini apps, incorporating social mechanics and calling it Capitalist. We succeeded, and since then, our user base has grown to 700,000 across all of Capitalist social platforms. The game itself has around 600,000 total active users. Our daily active users are around 30,000, though this number varies with market conditions and trends. However, unlike other apps on the market, our model has yet to fully reveal its potential. As for our products, the wallet and the launchpad, we have accomplished a lot. First, we built a development team so we no longer shy away from challenges. We have a detailed development plan for the next year with a clear direction for product growth. Second, we established a marketing team. Over this period, we tested numerous hypotheses, identified effective strategies, and figured out where to generate substantial traffic. We learned what to do and what to avoid and gained many partners along the way. We assembled a support team and a product team, including testers and analysts, so we now have a solid and capable team in place for the nearest future. We also revised our business model to make it more profitable, offering more earning potential with the same projects. How does it work? Previously, we would simply take an allocation from a project and receive a commission of around 25%. This was our revenue, which then had to be distributed across the team, marketing, and partners. However, this wasn't enough to allow for significant growth and scaling. We discovered a model that generates revenue for us. Essentially, we're not just raising funds for projects on our platform, we are also providing them with an audience. We secure a discount from the project, and in return, we offer social and marketing activities. Soon, we will be adding on-chain activities as well. Because of this, projects are eager to share their allocation with us so that we can in turn share it with our audience, which is exactly what we do. Here's a bit of insider information. This month, we launched the task pool within our capitalist game. Users can complete tasks to participate in a drop. The upcoming project is Mars-based, and we will be sharing a portion of its allocation with our audience. The real insight here is that we are introducing a ranking system in Antipad. From the beginning, we have been tracking all user activities, how they engage in social media, participate in our products, join sales, the number of sales they have joined, and how many cards they have opened. We are tracking all these activities and incorporating them into our rating system, where users will be rewarded accordingly. This model, where we receive a discount in the form of project allocation, allows us to prioritize our community. We share this allocation with them first, enabling them to engage socially, explore the product, and help bring it onto our launchpad. Next, we share the allocation with influencers, specifically KOLs, key opinion leaders, in the market. We have audiences ranging from 10,000 to 100,000 people. We provide these influencers with allocation if they help attract audiences to our launchpad. This creates a win-win scenario. The project benefits by gaining marketing exposure, the audience is rewarded for their engagement and simple actions. Plus, they get the opportunity to invest in a private round, with a potential for high returns in the future. Our influencers and partners also benefit, as they can share information about quality projects and receive favorable entry terms and allocations. So essentially, the third party making money from all of this is the launchpad, right? So it's not just a win-win, but a win-win-win scenario. Yes, exactly. And unlike a simple commission model, here we are actually making a pretty good profit ourselves. Great. Here's a question. When we talk about the target audience that comes and buys on a launchpad, people who are interested in accessing private rounds, does a person need to have some minimum level of preparation? Because at a minimum, they should understand what a private round is. Who are your clients? I mean, among retail individuals, which audience are you targeting? Who is this product for? Can you briefly describe the type of a person who invests with you, perhaps in terms of a dollar amount they might invest, maybe their investment strategy, or something else? Even roughly. If we focus on the Launchpad platform itself, leaving aside the wallet, virtual cards, and the capitalist game, the user profile looks like this. It's someone with a steady job, some capital, and who invests equal amounts to build a venture portfolio, which will ideally provide them with significant returns in the future. We are also dedicated to educating our audience here, aiming to minimize even those risks. This way, even if someone can't fully dive into it due to lack of time, they are still supported. As you have noticed, we don't have a lot of scam projects on our Launchpad. We could easily run around 5 of them per week, but we choose not to. We are very selective as we operate with the support of a venture capital fund and a team of analysts who carefully vet each project, preventing any low-quality projects from slipping through. We do everything we can to help people build their portfolios. This venture capital portfolio is meant to be a long-term investment, spanning several years. To make it more accessible, we have lowered the entry point to $50, a manageable amount for many. The idea is to plan with a long-term horizon. Once a month, it's worth checking in. And if a new project appears on the Launchpad with a low minimum investment, the goal is to enter all projects with equal amounts. Exactly. The in-depth expertise of the venture capital fund and analyst allows us to select projects with a high likelihood of market success. This is achieved through a well-designed business model that aligns the interests of the launchpad, the projects, and the audience. Essentially, we are providing a product for people who want to invest wisely, who want to participate in quality deals and grow their capital, right? Absolutely, Alexey. And I would also add that one of the challenges we faced in choosing our target audience was finding enough people who are willing to dive into the product, understand how venture capital investment works, and start investing. Such people do exist, and we certainly have them among our users. We also created the capitalist game to give people the opportunity to start investing even if they don't have initial capital. Through very simple actions, users can engage with projects and earn rewards. These actions start with basic social engagement, like following social media accounts, Telegram, Twitter, and other platforms. Later on, tasks will get a bit more advanced, such as connecting a wallet or performing a transaction, with rewards earned for each of these actions. Absolutely, it makes perfect sense. The simpler and clearer the process, the better the chances for success. Let's dive into this a bit more. You mentioned having an audience of 700,000 on social media. Around 600,000 for the capitalist game, and tens of thousands of wallet users. So, how many do you ideally need? As CEO, you must have target figures in mind for the optimal audience size over the next 6 months to a year. How many active users would be needed to reach the target number of the sales, for instance? And what does that look like in terms of the number of sales and the users? I would love to hear your thoughts on these numbers since it's a really interesting part of the big picture. We are aiming for 4 sales a month since the narrative right now is very favorable. Donald Trump has become president, which gave a green light for the entire crypto community. We are already seeing Bitcoin hitting new highs, and the market overall is beginning to grow along with it. This is an extremely favorable time, roughly the next year, for building a portfolio and eventually turning a good profit. So, 4 projects a month. To achieve this, we need 5,000 participants to be able to close sales at $150,000 each. With 5,000 Launchpad users, we will be able to make this happen. With 5,000 clients or 5,000 users, in other words, does each sale involve 5,000 participants or is that the total number? It's the total number of people participating on the Launchpad. If we reach 5,000 users, that would cover each sale, even with oversubscription. On average, we need a minimum of 900 to 1,200 participants per sale of $150,000, which allows us to close the sale comfortably. Okay, and to reach these 5,000 active participants, how large does our audience need to be and how much growth is required? Or are we already set up so that these 5,000 users could reliably buy out each sale? Currently, we are actively launching a marketing campaign to reach this target number. Achieving 4 sales per month also involves extensive work with analysts and business developers to find quality projects that align with our criteria. Our first sale will take place this month, and we already have an audience in place for it, so we are confident in closing it successfully. Our game, Capitalist, is helping us build our audience. Currently, we have 600,000 users in the game and we are aiming to reach 10 million in the near future. Out of these users, only about 2% are expected to start using our other products, like the wallet, virtual cards, and Launchpad. We are currently working closely with influencers to attract this audience, collaborating with them on mutually beneficial terms, since they also earn through this partnership. In summary, our goals are 4 sales per month, sales of high quality, potentially interesting projects. We are aiming for 5,000 active investors participating in our monthly sales, and ultimately, a target of 10 million active users in our social game, Capitalist. Okay, these are ambitious goals, but most importantly, they are achievable. That's why we strongly recommend this project to our audience. And if you find yourself identifying with the target audience in any way, please don't miss the chance to participate in the upcoming sales. To stay informed, be sure to follow the Launchpad social media. Stay actively engaged and keep up with the content on this topic. I know you host AMA sessions regularly. Come join, ask questions, not just in a DigiU webinar, where everything feels like home and familiar, but out there, in the real world. This is where you will encounter not only our community, but also a variety of new people. It's a space where you can engage, support, guide, ask questions, and truly participate. Only by staying active like this, you can be successful in today's fast-paced world. And that's my personal advice. There's also something else I want to discuss. We have talked about plans from the audience's perspective. Look, DigiU is currently doing a snapshot of the Launchpad. We agreed that our users at the early community and co-owners will receive 1% of the Launchpad. Clearly, this signals that the launchpad is preparing for independent fundraising, meaning it will operate as an ecosystem with these fully functioning products already in place. Alexander E. recently held a webinar where he talked about the fund's plans and mentioned this as well. Could you elaborate on this topic now? We have covered the community goals, the business goals, and discussed the team you have put together. Now, we would like to hear more specifically about the future development, funding, and fundraising plans for the Launchpad. Do you already have some solid connections with potential partners? If there is anything you can share without giving away sensitive insider information, please do. It's clearly an important area that many overlook or forget about, yet it doesn't develop on its own. Thank you for the question, Alexey. I can probably share a bit more, starting with a brief background. After the 4 sales we held in May, and since my last update somewhere in the DigiU community's information space, we have been working closely with partners and business developers. We have spent a lot of time on rebranding and figuring out the best way to position ourselves in the market. We also consulted with many experts in this area. This led to the name Antipad, which reflects the uniqueness of our philosophy, as we essentially stand against the traditional investment methods in the market. We do not have our own token. Our goal is to simplify processes for projects, like fundraising and reaching audiences, as well as to make it easier for our community members to invest in these products. The core concept is community-focused, both in terms of the projects and partners we work with and our own community. We completed our rebranding and launched the wallet as a Telegram mini app, making it more convenient, intuitive, and easier to participate in deals. Very soon, actually later this month, we will release an updated version of the Launchpad along with an updated website. As for business development news, we attended CoinFest in August, and we have also been at Token 2049. Right now, I am in Bangkok at DevCon, a major conference organized by Ethereum. Another significant event was the bootcamp hosted by ex-founders in September, supported by the Solana Foundation. Partners included Axie 8 Ventures, AWS Club, Bean Crypto, and many others, with backing from Tier 1 funds. The bootcamp brought together 9 startups with a combined valuation of $300 million, including some projects just steps away from reaching unicorn status. Throughout September, we participated in a show filmed in collaboration with projects, partners, and funds. I took part in it as an expert. At the final demo day, where participants pitched their startups, we selected one of the projects to feature on our Launchpad as a result. We are working closely with the Solana Foundation, thanks in part to these events. We have traveled to Singapore and other conferences, maintaining a productive dialogue with them. We are in talks with Stellar and have a good working relationship with the Ton Foundation. Our discussions cover a wide range of topics: narratives, market trends, the grants they are offering, where they are investing, and overall developments in the market. From these conversations, we are forming a strategy. In any case, to start scaling up, we need to connect with one of the major ecosystems in the market. Most launchpads operate within their respective ecosystems, much like Binance Launchpad is tied to the Binance ecosystem. Polkastarter is tied to the Polkadot ecosystem, and so on. We are holding these discussions to scale up next year, aiming to launch not just 4 projects a month, but across an entire ecosystem. The ecosystem's capacity will determine how many startups we can launch monthly. Accordingly, we are now entering an active fundraising stage for our platform, Antipad. We are doing this independently to make the leap and achieve this level of scale. We can only wish you the best of luck here. The DigiU community and ecosystem are fully supportive, as we see several overlapping interests. This is a very promising and profitable business model with high margin product and low cost. It also serves a social function, a shared mission between us, where each person has the opportunity to gain the most from modern and advanced technologies. As you said before, Web3 consists entirely of cutting-edge technology projects. That's why the DigiU ecosystem will provide full support and assistance in their development. As early investors, we are interested in the success of this venture and see tremendous potential. I want to address our audience directly now. Listen carefully once again to what Aidar is saying, the names he mentions. Study the market. Try to recognize these opportunities as clearly, or at least nearly as clearly, as Aidar, Alexander, the entire Launchpad team, and the DigiU ecosystem team do. The potential is enormous. Keep a close eye on it. Keep building your skills in terms of the market and everything else. Is there anything else you would like to add? Any upcoming plans? Overall, you have covered the main points. We are all eagerly anticipating the sale, with a clear focus on fundraising and scaling. But is there anything we might have missed? Anything else to add, Aidar? Sure. I can definitely elaborate on the product side. I can explain how everything will look and the direction we are heading to. So, we are aiming to do more than just help projects raise funds at an early stage. For example, DigiU helped us in several ways. Beyond providing financial resources for various activities, they also supported us by connecting us with an audience. This allowed us to launch the product, gain our first testers and initial users, for which we are genuinely grateful. Now, we are setting up ways to reward this community of early supporters. The rating system is being developed, specifically so that our early users receive rewards. And as development progresses, we see that there are countless ecosystems in the market, with many blockchains and projects within each one. Trying to understand each of them on your own is a demanding task that takes a lot of time and likely won't bring any reward beyond knowledge. Of course, knowledge itself is incredibly valuable. The need to onboard users to help them understand the product aligns with the interest of these projects. We are gradually moving towards becoming an educational platform where users can earn rewards by completing quests and simple tasks. Eventually, this will be available as a web app, allowing users to connect their non-custodial wallet, engage with various projects, complete activities, and of course, receive rewards in return.
That really does sound fantastic and very impressive. Often, when we have a guest on the webinar and we are wrapping up, like we are now, I like to ask them to share a message with those watching us now. Something encouraging, a bit of advice that could benefit people this year or in the near future. For those who hear it and put it into action, what should a person focus on to stay relevant and successful in today's world? Take action and follow people who think big. With them, even a small step can have a large impact. If you take bold action with people who think small, that action's impact will likely be limited by their perspective. I encourage everyone not to be afraid of exploring things independently and staying aware of trends. The pace of the modern world is fast, and the quality of our lives is shaped by the quality of the questions we ask. By diving into these questions, there is great potential for growth. And of course, I would like to wish you all success. That's great, Aidar. Thank you so much. We all appreciate it. Feel free to ask Aidar any more questions in the comments below. There might be a topic we haven't covered yet, so do not hesitate to reach out. Aidar is also in our chats and sometimes responds actively, so I think he will find it both enjoyable and interesting. Being proactive is always awesome. Aidar, thank you once again, and we wish you success at this conference. May all the Launchpad goals be achieved. Sure, Alexey, thank you. And thanks to all our viewers. Don't forget to follow us on social media, show your support, complete social tasks to earn rewards, join the sale, and keep growing with us. That's all, thank you. See you soon, Aidar. This was a really interesting and insightful interview. Once again, many thanks to Aidar for sharing such detailed and even somewhat insider information. I think those who listened carefully picked up on some subtle but very important insights. I would like to remind everyone that we are now less than a month away from our company's 5th anniversary. The event schedule is already packed, but it's only going to get even more exciting. Right now, we are conducting a Launchpad snapshot. This is a unique opportunity to receive free shares of the Launchpad by completing a few simple actions. These actions include settling overdue payments or completing tasks in the bonus center. The snapshot is taking place in 2 stages. The first stage is already complete, and there is just a little time left before the second stage ends. If you haven't joined yet, there is still an opportunity for everyone, both for those who are still making installment payments in the DigiU ecosystem and for those who have already completed them. Just go to the bonus center, purchase an RWA package, and you will receive Launchpad shares as a gift. Aidar has just provided a detailed overview of the prospects, market insights, team, and key factors that can help you make an informed decision. What else is worth mentioning? We are all eagerly awaiting the release of the AVA token, which is now just around the corner. The date is set, December 5th. The DigiU ecosystem is starting preparations so that you can claim the tokens available in your personal account within the investor portfolio. You may have purchased these tokens independently, receive them as a gift or both. By November 20th, an interface will be available where you can enter your wallet address. Tokens will first be distributed to those who purchase them during sales that included an 18-month vesting period. You will be able to claim these tokens directly from Ava. It's a simple process. Our main task is to prepare the list of wallet addresses, so please read the post carefully and follow the instructions. No complicated steps are required. Just make sure to provide us with the correct wallet address, and at the token generation event, you will be able to receive your tokens. For those holding tokens with a 36-month vesting period, these tokens will first be transferred to the DigiU ecosystem, and then, according to Ava's tokenomics, we will distribute them to all eligible holders. You will need to prepare your wallet addresses as well. To do that, head over to the interface, follow the instructions, and provide us with your wallet address. This interface will be available by November 20th, and there is a time limit. We want to process as many wallets as possible at once, so please do not delay. Of course, you will still have an option to submit your address later, but it will require an individual assistance through customer support. It's best to follow the general process now. These are very exciting news, made even more special by the fact that Ava chose these important events, token generation event and listing, to align with our company's 5th anniversary. This is something we have been waiting for a long time. Many in our community are already familiar with these tokens and hold them. But this year we have also welcomed a new audience who have not had the chance to participate in snapshots and even sales. We will try to organize an activity so that everyone, old and new, shares our anticipation for this event. There are plenty more events to come. At the end of November, we will be holding a private forum in Vietnam, bringing together DigiU ecosystem representatives from various countries. I will be there, along with Alexander and the team. This forum will be a chance to review achievements, set plans for next year, tackle key issues, and go over important data, charts, and other insights. Since this is a private event, only some parts will be shared publicly. In December, we will shoot our traditional digest film. This film will be dedicated to the anniversary of the DigiU ecosystem. We are already preparing for it, and we are very excited to share what's coming up. The end of November will be packed. Token generation event preparations, the forum, and our yearly review and planning. To put it simply, our plans are ambitious. We are looking at long-term goals for 2025, 2030, and even 2025, 2035, with a solid roadmap for the years ahead. There will obviously be some things that might surprise you. There are things the audience has been asking for, and we are now ready to deliver. Some of you may already have an idea of what I'm referring to. In any case, stay tuned for updates and take part in all the activities. The bonus center is up and running, and tasks are being updated regularly. They are very simple to complete, and for each one, you will receive a reward. Take part in the large-scale DropX event. The more participants we have, the better and more exciting the prizes will be. I think we will share more details about them a bit later. Perhaps that will spark even more interest. Through these activities, we are pursuing simple and clear business goals, which I have mentioned several times before. This is about growing the audience and striving for liquidity in all its forms. So, participate, make your decisions, and maximize the benefits of those decisions. Thank you all for this meeting, the webinar, and the conversation with Aidar. I wish you all the best. See you soon.